Welcome to Framework 4 of Building a Seven-Figure Company. In this framework, we're going to be talking about client delivery and, more importantly, discussing how to keep your clients forever and increase your LTV, otherwise known as lifetime value. Because when you have a higher lifetime value, the saying goes into play, those who can pay the most can play the most. And this is how you can really take advantage of cold traffic by being able to spend more to acquire your dream type of client. So we're going to dive into some specifics on client delivery. And now I know a lot of this might not sound like the most sexy topics, but trust me, it's the backbone for the success inside your business. And once you master this, your business is going to feel a lot more confident and you're going to have a lot more predictability inside the growth of where you're trying to go and to hit seven figures and beyond. So, let's just first jump into what I have over here is getting results ethically. So, before we jump into any of this, it's very important that if you're going to be building a legit business is you got to be very ethical with what you're doing, right? Like you need to actually deliver real results for your clients. And this whole fake it till you make it type thing, market things that aren't true. There's so many people out there doing it. And there's a reason you only see their ads for a little bit and then they go MIA, right? Because they're not legit. And that's what I want to share with you on here is you have to be legit at what you do. And if you're not, it's okay, but it will take time and you have to actually be able to put in the work to be good at this. Now, if you're actually good at getting results for your clients, and this is going to be one of the best things that you can do because it's going to help you actually scale this the right way. So, before I begin, again, I want to share with you and be very transparent is like what I'm sharing with you, the principles and the foundations are meant for people that are ethical business owners and actually care about the world. If you're here just to get rich and you don't care about the impact, you're not going to make it. You probably should just stop watching the rest of these videos, just being real with you. But if you're somebody that wants to get rich and have a big impact on the world, what I'm going to share with you is going to work really well. So, a quick little recap, like for me, when I first got started in all of this, I started with sweat equity inside my business with, like learning client fulfillment, client delivery, because I was never great at it at first. Like I first started all of this, I worked with 10 local businesses just experimenting with ads. And I was very straight up with them. This is back in like 2017. And I told him, I was like, hey, like, I don't know ads that well, but I've invested in some courses and some programs. I'm willing to work for free if you give me a shot. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. So that's why I'm saying this is like, if you haven't achieved the results you want yet, you should be willing to work for free, right? Like I think the thing where you're charging people and you don't know how to get results is a scam, to be honest with you. And a lot of people do it. So, if you can't get the results yet, find someone that you can work for free. It's really easy to get those type of clients, I promise you. And for me, I worked with 10. Once I cracked the code, I transitioned into just charging for my services. And you can do the same too. So main thing is like, you got to be ethical with what you do with this. And you got to be able to charge what you're actually worth, but be able to charge what you're worth. You have to be able to have good results. So now that we got that part of the proportion out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about is being like very focused. And we have one outcome with one time frame. So if you go back to our previous lesson, you should be working with one type of client, achieving one type of result. You're not a superhero here. You can't do everything. The people that come to me and say, well, I have this offer, this offer, this offer, this offer, and this offer, but they're only doing like 10 to 30K a month. The first thing we do is say, okay, cool. Let's get specific with one offer and one industry, because your program isn't going to be able to fix everything right off the bat, right? Like it, I'm not going to go into too much detail on this because I just talked about this in the previous video. So if you haven't watched the previous video called Avatar and Offer, go watch that. It's going to explain more in detail on how to just get very specific, because if you're too broad, you're going to be talking to too many people. And when you're speaking to too many people in an audience, you're never going to get the right type of attention of the right person. This is where the bad quality leads issue comes in. So I'm not going to go into too much detail with that. Go check out that previous video. The link is down below if you want more info on it. But I will wrap it up with these two last things on this section right here is your offer must answer this question. What unique outcome will you help your clients achieve with a specific time frame? This question, the answer to this question is going to help you along the way of delivering results for your clients. So, what is the outcome that you help your clients achieve and in what time frame? Time frame is very important too. You don't want to have an offer that is a lifetime value type of offer. You want to have something where it's a time frame because again, you can increase your LTV where if it's a 4-month program, then after 4 months you have a conversation with them and see what the next step is from there. But again, a lot of that's covered in the previous video. The current outcome for AIA members, and again, this is subject to change just to give you some details and some info on like what we're doing, because again, depending on when you're watching this video, it can be completely different. So I'm just giving you like what the current one is. But currently what we do is we help our clients, coaches and consultants, add an extra 100K to their business by turning their Instagram profile into a funnel. And the reason we say 100K is because this is about the average of a client that comes in and listens to what we do. They end up making 100K. Now, some end up adding an additional 100K a month to their business, but that's like the feature to get people in the program is, hey, we're going to help you make an extra 100K. And it's straight to the point. Our end goal is to help them build a legit scalable business model like we currently have inside our company. We're doing multiple 7 figures and we're basically kind of just almost like franchising what's working for us and giving it to our clients. So hopefully that kind of sums some things up for you on, one outcome, one time frame. Now that we have that foundational aspect down, I want to go over through like delivery strategies and go over how to actually go about this. So, how do you deliver your product? It's the first question you got to ask yourself, right? Is it face-to-face? Is it online? Is it through coaching calls? Is it with one-on-one support? And again, this is boring stuff, but it's very important because if you don't have this clear expectations written out for your clients, it's going to be very chaotic. Have you ever had a client that they message you through email, they message you through Facebook, Instagram, they even text you to get a hold of you, right? You got to set those expectations with your clients and say, hey, we have this one channel of communication. This is what you get with this program. For us, our clients that join Authority Income Accelerator, we use a program called Circle where we host circle.so, where we host all of our curriculum. And in that curriculum, and the way that software has it designed is there is a chat feature up there where they'll have direct access to their coach. And the first thing we tell all of our clients is, do not text us. Do not message us on Instagram. The only way of communication from this point moving forward with your coach in this program is inside this specific app. And we do that because it's going to be better for them, right? If they're messaging us on Instagram, where our Instagram is an entire it's optimized just to get clients, they're going to get lost in the sauce. And that's what we tell them. So what I want you to think about is like, how do your clients speak to you? You have to have this part dialed in, and that's going to help out a lot. Now, the next step with all this is there coaching calls? How many coaching calls? How do you structure that? And I'll just give you a little bit of information on like my journey and how I went about it. So when I actually started this company, Authority Income Accelerator, I began with 5 one-on-one clients. And this basically provided the foundation that I built everything around. And I had the skill sets, but I didn't have anything built out. And I sold these 5 clients into my beta program. And I told them very upfront, hey, this is the cheapest it's ever going to be. You're going to have the most direct access to me. I have nothing built out, but I'm going to build everything around you and your needs. And I got 5 people in. And from there, I built the foundation of what these 5 people need and eventually transitioned into a group coaching model. And the transition period is really easy. I get this question a lot, actually, is like, how do you go about it? And it's really easy. It's just the 5 people that you get on. Make sure there's a time frame. For me, I believe it was 3 months with them. As soon as I made that transition, I said, hey, as a bonus, I'm going to offer you group coaching as well, so you can start really building the community. So I started getting those 5 people on a group coaching call once a week as well as doing the one-on-ones until that fizzled out. And then I started bringing on new clients and transition and push them into the group coaching model. And that's the easiest way to do it. And it's one of those things where your current clients, they're going to be like, oh, well, this is an extra bonus, which in reality it is. So they can have that community aspect. And that's just the way that I found to work the best with this. So really, it just like my journey involved, going from one-on-one coaching calls to two group coaching sessions per week. And then now we have 5 group coaching calls a week with a dedicated client success manager that manages all of our clients and makes sure that they see success. And I also have 2 other coaches in the program. So it's me, client success manager, and then 2 other coaches that run 2 of the calls as well. So that's why we have 5 calls. It works out really well with our clients. But like the main thing to remember with this is like, plan for the long term and build your foundation with your vision, right? Like every business is different, but you need to make sure that you have the foundation, kind of can see where you want to grow this business and like how the structure is going to go into play with that. So the evolution of the structure is the next title that I want to cover with you. And this is where your personal touch comes in. So as you build your delivery system, I want you to think about it in long-term, like a long-term evaluation, right? Like again, my journey is going to be a lot different than yours, and that's perfectly fine. But your structure should be focused on what you're good about and what you like, because your vibe attracts your tribe. And that's going to be true on your marketing. That's going to be true on your client delivery. And that really kind of comes down to like, what do you want out of this business? And it took me forever to figure this out, right? Like actually understanding what my goals are and what I want. And I thought I always knew this, but for the longest time, this is the biggest thing that changed my life. And it's pretty crazy because I actually, full transparency, we were soaring really, we were having predictable growth. And then we had like 2 months where it was just going down and I couldn't figure out what it was. I tried everything. So I hired this coach. I paid him $30,000 in full. And there was one main thing that I got from him. And that one thing was, what type of business do you want this to be? And at the time I had it mixed up because I was like, well, I wanted it to be a legitimate company, but I wanted to run on autopilot. And he says, Justin, you're 50-50 on this, man. Pick one or the other. And I was like, well, what are you doing? At the time, the coach I'm talking to at the time, he's doing about $300K a month. And he's like, yeah, mine's a legit company. Like, I don't plan on selling this. Like, I just want to build this business. Like, I like being involved. And I was like, that's what I like too, man. That's what I want. Like, I always just got mixed up because that's what I was doing. I was like, you know what? That's the direction I want to go. And once I made that, once I went all in on that, I was like, hey, this isn't a lifestyle business. This isn't something where, I'm traveling the world and working 2 hours a week type thing. This is a legit business that I'm going to build that's going to be at one point, producing 7 figures a month. And that's where we're heading with this business. And I don't think there's any reason we can't get there. But once I made that decision, everything else changed. And it was like one of those groundworking decisions that you don't think that it'll change a lot, but I promise you it will. So you need to ask yourself is like, what's the goal of your business? Is it a legit company that you want to build, or is this a lifestyle business that you want to build? And once you have that answer, to be kind of like your North Star guiding you along the path to grow this business. Now, one thing I want to acknowledge before we go into the conclusion here is, I see this all the time, is you've got to avoid the lifetime access trap when you're selling your clients into your program. Just don't promise your clients lifetime access to your program. I know it might sound like a really good way and an easy way to get clients in the door, but I promise you it's just going to hurt you in the long run. Because when you say lifetime is lifetime. And you might be like, well, some clients, they only want, like, they die off after 3 weeks, 4 weeks. If they die off after 3 or 4 weeks, again, that's another part of client delivery that we need to work on. But you want your clients to stay around for a lifetime, but you want them to continue paying you for a lifetime, because You can't grow your business and have 300 clients all on, a one-to-one basis, right? Or whatever, however you have your program structured, is like the number is going to continue growing. You're going to have to hire more coaches and more coaches, or you can have a very specific cutoff period. And then after that cutoff period, a certain amount, the ones that are real go-getters are going to transition up your ladder and increase your lifetime value. Because again, the last thing I want you to leave with is lifetime value is the secret to growing your business. And I think there's a lot of transitions in how business has gone recently. Like it started off with VSLs, it started off with webinars, right? Like a 297 product, a 997 product, whatever it may be, right? Like that was how it started off. And then it went into high ticket coaching, which is kind of like the main trend right now. But the thing with high ticket coaching and everything else, everything just keeps getting more and more expensive thanks to inflation, right? And just everything else going on in the world. So it's like, what's the next trend? And the next trend is really the lifetime value of a high ticket coach, in my opinion, where you can get somebody in for a high ticket value, but you need to maximize their lifetime value with you. So instead of just getting a 10K client, imagine if that same client paid you 100K, right? It would be a complete game changer. And that's one of the things that I did when I first started my agency is I had a chiropractic client. It's a hilarious story, actually. This is one of the first clients I offered a trial to, and one out of the few that I actually got results for. And they stayed with me, paying me. It was like over $2,500 a month, sometimes more months, sometimes more per month, for like 4 or 5 years. Like that one client literally paid me over $100,000. And it started off of a free trial back in the day. And the reason I'm telling you this is because that one client paid for the entire ad spend for that 1 year just from hard work, right? And that's what I'm saying is like, if you can increase the lifetime value, that's where the real growth of your company comes into play. So into the conclusion aspect. And again, I know this was a harder one to probably digest than most, but it's probably one of the most, they're all very beneficial, but the framework behind this is what's going to actually help you grow to a 7-figure company. Is you got to remember that, having a good delivery system is absolutely successful for your business. And actually having your goals outlined is going to help you understand where the direction of where you want to go with this business will be. So the quality of service that you offer will not only keep your clients engaged, but it'll also have them talking to other people about your program. And when people talk about your program, they bring in referrals. And guess what? Referrals is another acquisition source that you can add on to your business. So with that being said, as always, if you're a coach or consultant doing over 10K a month and you're looking for a predictable system to get you to 7 figures and beyond, me and my team would like to take you there. We've helped hundreds and hundreds of coaches and consultants hit these numbers and hit reoccurring 6-figure months. There'll be a link down below. You can click on that. There'll be a option to book a call, but you'll also see a bunch of testimonials and case studies below that as well. So you can check out some of the clients that we worked with. We've just been doing this for a very long time. We're really good at what we're doing and just looking for, the top type of talent out there that we can work with. So if you think that's you, feel free to book a call down below. Like I always say, is the price will be on the page just so we don't waste your time or we don't waste our time. So you can see the most updated price always on that page down below. And with that being said, got the next final framework coming in for you soon. It'll be down below once everything's published. And if you're not yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.